Good afternoon, class. My name is Lydia Ricks, and today I will be discussing some of the warning signs of Alzheimer's disease. So first, I want you all to picture this. Waking up one morning next to a complete stranger. He claims that you were his wife, and you have no idea who he is. You have the faintest recollection of knowing him, however, you aren't sure how. You feel alone, afraid, and anxious because you have no clue what to believe and why this is happening to you. This is the reality of Alzheimer's disease. Millions of adults wake up to this reality every single day, and without the proper treatment, this reality will only get worse. The warning signs of this disease are crucial to notice because when not noticed, the symptoms of the disease create a living hell in the person. I worked in a retirement home for a few years and have been exposed to the disease, and I have seen how destructive and sad it really is. When working closely with the residents impacted by the disease, I learned more about certain warning signs that were common among most residents and was able to develop a treatment plan in order to give the other residents who weren't diagnosed with Alzheimer's the proper treatment and care. According to the Alzheimer's Association, being aware of some warning signs like memory loss that disrupts daily life, challenges in planning or solving problems, and confusion with time or place help diagnose the disease, as well as creating a treatment process. Since Alzheimer's disease has impacted so many people worldwide, and certainly in the classroom, the three main warning signs that I'll talk about today are memory loss that disrupts daily life, including forgetting recently learned information or not being able to comprehend new information, challenges in planning or solving problems that cause people to lose the ability to plan for the future and have difficulty solving complex numbers, and confusing time or place that stops the person's ability to remember important dates or causes them to forget what time of day it is. It is important to know and understand these three possible warning signs of the disease so that you or your loved one can get started on a treatment plan before the disease progresses any further. One of the warning signs that I'll be talking about today is memory loss that impacts daily life that includes forgetting recently learned information. According to Harvard Women's Health Watch, the inability to remember appointments or getting lost on the way to a familiar place are things you need to look out for when suspicious of Alzheimer's disease in a loved one. Relying on memory aids or family members for things that they used to handle on their own is another sign. According to the Alzheimer's Association, forgetting something and not ever remembering it is a big indicator of Alzheimer's disease, and it's not because of old age. So once a memory is seen, another warning sign is that can become evident is challenges in planning or solving problems. Challenges in problem solving or planning can occur to people with Alzheimer's, including their inability to work with numbers or follow a plan. During a study conducted by the Journal of Clinical and Experimental Neuropsychology, it was found that when Alzheimer's patients were asked to associate between true and false memories, they had extreme difficulty. These memories were things such as their daily tasks or schedules that they followed every single day, and with the progression of the disease, they were unable to differentiate. According to the Alzheimer's Association, having increased difficulty in playing games that the person was once familiar with is another sign. The inability to remember or follow the rules is especially evident in early onset Alzheimer's cases. Not only do people living with Alzheimer's experience difficulty in problem solving, they also confuse time or place in which they are. Confusion with time or place is another warning sign that occurs in the majority of Alzheimer's patients. According to a study done trying to figure out the source of the confusion with time in Alzheimer's patients, it was concluded that multiple areas of the brain, like the hippocampus, are impacted with the progression of the disease, but full causation has not been identified yet. According to the Alzheimer's Association, trouble remembering how or why a person is where they are is also very evident in Alzheimer's patients. Hallucinations can cause them to picture themselves in a place in which they are not. Although many other warning signs make themselves clear throughout the progression of the disease, these three warning signs are among the most common and help diagnose the most. Alzheimer's disease impacts millions of people around the world, and what we know from the disease is what to look out for in our own loved ones. The most common warning sign of the disease is the inability to remember newly learned information. Although forgetting is a part of old age and just aging in general, not being able to remember newly learned information is what causes people to realize the possibility of Alzheimer's. Having difficulty problem solving or planning is another warning sign, along with getting frustrated when not able to do something that the person was always able to do. People with Alzheimer's have always been independent, and to have to rely on people in order to live their daily lives makes them very frustrated and upset. The last warning sign is confusion with time or place. Mixing up breakfast and dinner and not knowing what time the clock means is something that happens a little later in the progression of the disease, but still is considered a warning sign because each case is different. With the knowledge of these three warning signs, more cases of Alzheimer's can be diagnosed sooner and causing less pain and suffering to those who are impacted by the disease. Thank you.